All right, we are live on the U vs. U show. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. This is Todd Cayley, your host of the U vs. U show and author of the book U vs. U: The 12 Ways to Kick Your Own Ass and Win. And I wanted to come on here today with a very special guest speaker. Didn't go on yesterday in observation of really Black Lives Matter and everything that was going on social media. But at the same time, I want to be back on and just really explore this battle that we're all facing, whether you're black, white, it doesn't matter your color, your race, we're all in the battle of you versus you. And I know it's a tough one. It's called life. And I know sometimes that we could be in a funk. And I know a lot of people right now might seem or feel that they're in a huge funk right now in life. And you're just like looking at the news and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do here? We got the pandemic and then we got the riots and then we got all the stuff that's going on. And it's just like, how do we help and protect our interpersonal world ourselves and just really do the best job that we can? So we have a very inspiring person that's going to be on today. His name is Jed Hammond. He's right here. You can see him from the Colorado area. He's a martial arts expert. He's a teacher. He's a leader. He's a client of the Inside Out Institute, and we're so proud to have him. In fact, in an hour from now, we're going to be honoring him as the weekly Inside Out Overcomer of the Week. And the reason I want to have Jed on today is just really kind of go through a little bit of his story, a little bit of his background, but at the same time, get right into the meat and potatoes of where he was maybe even a few short years ago, even last year, to where he is today, and some of those wise choices that he's made. So, Jed, thanks so much for being on, man. Appreciate you so much. And I want to just start off by just for everyone that's watching this for the first time, they might not know you, just a little bit about your background, who you are, and a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, of course. No, thank you for all of that. I really do appreciate it. As you guys know, I am a martial artist. I've been doing martial arts since I was 5. It's one of my biggest passions. I've just become obsessed with it, and it helps in so many different ways, in mind and emotions and physicality. Been doing it forever. I'm an empath, so I'm very much an emotional person. I feel people's emotions. I feel vibrations. Very spiritual kind of person. I'm kind of a goober. I try to keep things light and fun. Even through all the stuff that I've been through, I try to keep it. A lot of people refer to me to like the kid at heart, and I'm okay with that. Like I love kind of being that kid at heart because I can still have fun, and it seems to help other people kind of ease up too. So.
Well, cool. Well, tell me a little bit about where you were. I don't know. Let's just say a year ago. I definitely know where I was. It wasn't where I'm at today. I mean, I know out our doors. Both me and you can relate to this. If we step out our doors, maybe the world is in kind of a riot. But I think a year ago, both of us were kind of in our internal riot, if you will.
Yeah.
So what shifted for you? Walk us through a little bit about being in that funk, not being able to necessarily even share your unique message, and where were you at in the dark moments? We'll start there first, and then we'll talk about how you were able to get out of it.
It was, I'll honestly say, from a year ago, I'm way better than I was a year ago, but a year ago was nowhere as bad as where I was 2 years ago.
Right.
I ended up in several mental institutions. I actually almost pulled the trigger on my own life. I was in a terrible, terrible place. About a year ago, it was still rough because I was working out of that. I was working out of this crap that I had ended up in. Most of my family kind of left me. I was left hanging. I was high and dry. I didn't have any sort of like support, physical or emotional, sometimes not even mental. And so I knew I had to do the thing. God, for my history of what I've already done with meditation, yoga, martial arts, and training and stuff, that I was able to pull myself out. But about a year ago, I was still here. I was in this town of Grand Junction, Colorado, but my mind was all over the place. I had just lost my mom. Everything I'd owned was stolen out of the back of my car in San Francisco. I was left in a mental institution. I literally slept in the a parking lot of a Starbucks in Burbank, California, to spend my last $200 to get a bus ticket to come back here. Because I have family out here. So yeah, so I have family out here, so I thought it'd be safer.
And how long was that? How was you said that was 2 years ago?
That all was about 2 years ago, almost 3. It's coming up on 3.
Okay.
And so from a year ago, I've been battling all of that. Like, who am I as a person? What do I do without my mom? Like my family left me high and dry. Like, what am I supposed to do if I don't have any sort of physical support or emotional support? So it was me literally, battling myself. It was like, just do it. Just end it right now. You don't just be over with this stuff. Like, you can't do it. But ever since I was, young, I've always had that sort of push, and I was able to be mindful enough to not to, as much as it hurt. Like every single day, it hurt a lot. And so I knew what I had to do. I knew in my mind, meditate, it helps. Like that was me talking to myself, do your meditation, it helps you.
Right.
And just like little by little, any moment that I could. And I'm like, I lost my diet completely, just a bunch of crap. And so it's like, just eat right. Vegetables help you. You know how vital it is for you to eat right. You know what it does to your mental state. Right. And so just little by little, I just kept doing it. And then daily, instead of, and I realized I had nowhere to go. So my mom was kind of my rock. If life got hard when I was a kid, I could go to her. Right. Without her, it was just me. So I had nowhere to go. I couldn't run. There was nobody to take the pain away. So I had to become kind of conscious of my own reactions. If somebody made me scared or somebody, made me react, I couldn't run. I had to either just stand there and face it.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
So a lot of people feel that way right now. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, you and me, obviously, we know certain things like exercise and diet and meditation are our go-tos. Yeah, and you were obviously, thanks for sharing your vulnerability, even about, some of the mental challenges that you had. And, I think sometimes people think of like mental institutions, like back in like cartoons, like that's where the crazy people go and stuff like that. But I think we're all a little mentally challenged right now. I think it's hard to get out of bed right now. I think, and we've heard it, don't watch the news and stuff, but I think that certainty, certainty is what drives human beings. Even back in cavemen days, it's like, okay, I'm certain that today, the cavemen list to do. Me go get food for wife. Okay, that was certainty. Right. Me eat. Me go kill food or go plant a garden. But people still, even thousands and thousands of years later, like we have to have certainty. So if we don't have certainty about what we're doing for the day, we can lose our mind, and that's why people kind of go off in tangents or they lose focus or they're in this funk. So let's talk about the good news, right? So. Not that that's bad news, that's reality. And I think that's not bad at all. In fact, that's part of all of us and our growth and our current reality. And sometimes it's not always going to be pretty. But the moral of the story, neither was Rocky or Rocky 2 or Rocky 3 or Rocky 4 or, you know what I'm saying? So there's always a fight. And there's always that song, like Rocky's song, like, Eye of the Tiger, right?
Yeah.
So how can someone, they're getting beat up and beat up and beat up with life, but how did you start being more mindful, being more wise, and being more willing? Like I talk about my book, You vs. You. It's like, okay, we return to the battle and we're now redefining it. You look back 2-3 years ago now, of course, and what you're about to do, you're kind of like, thank God I went through that, so I could be such a great story. But the last really R on that is return, meaning, repeat. So what are you doing now that you're repeating wise choices? Like what are some of the choices that you're making to win and continue to win that you versus you battle?
Oh, the biggest thing for me is cheesy and maybe overplayed as it sounds, is believe in yourself. Like literally believe in yourself. If you don't have your own back, nobody does. And that, like, I learned that the hard way. And so what got me through it is like, I will be my own rock. I'm the one here. I'm the one who's not going to let myself down. And so I literally and I struggled with that. I was like, don't become a douchebag. Don't become cocky. Don't become arrogant. And all, like, I seriously feared that all the time. But it's like, no, I'm going to get my ass out of this because I can't keep living this life. I can't live in fear. I can't live in pain. Yeah. I don't care where I'm going. I just know I'm going towards something better. And so believing myself and allowing myself to love myself as a human being and be like, look, you're alive and I love you. I literally look at myself and like, we can do this wherever we're going. We're kind of blind right now, but we're going to do this. I don't know how, but we'll do it. Meditate, just do it. I don't know what's going to happen, but just do it. It helps you. Eat your vegetables, just do it. It helps. Just do it. Exercise, it helps you. And slowly, day by day, it would just get better and better and better until you embrace it. There'll finally become a point where it's like, this is who I am. Like I pulled myself out of this. World's my oyster. Like I'm not afraid anymore because I was able to do this about myself. And it goes for anybody. If you can just literally believe in yourself and love yourself enough as a human being to allow yourself to heal, that's the big thing. I don't think we allow ourselves to heal.
So talking about the masculine energy. Okay, so we have feminine energy, and both, males can have feminine energy, by the way, which is quite awesome. By the way, it's being sensitive, it's being empathetic, it's being kind, it's being gentle. But there also is a masculine energy in martial arts as well, and what you do and muscle building, and me and you definitely. I just got done with a workout, hurried up and showered to do this interview. Talk to me about the difference between cocky in confidence? Because I know you're a big Bruce Lee fan, and Bruce Lee this coming weekend they're doing a 30 by 30 on ESPN all about Bruce Lee, which I'm excited because I don't know much about Bruce Lee. I know the legend of Bruce Lee, but I'm excited to really get to know him. And there, when you see Bruce Lee and it's just his abs popping out and his like, just how confident he was, but he's talking about be like water, be humble. But how can I be confident in myself, but not come off, as you said, like a douchebag or arrogant? Because sometimes even healthy, confident people are the ones that are criticized the most. People are jealous of them the most because they're just confident who they are. So what's kind of in the martial arts world, even, how can you be confident that you can defend yourself no matter what, but at the same time humble and not cocky, but at the same time knowing that you can pretty much kick anyone's butt if you needed to?
Right. That's actually a beautiful question. Because I love that. Like as you know, like I love Bruce Lee. I've struggled with it for years. I'm not a small person. I'm about 6 foot. I weigh close to about 200 pounds. There is a difference. Confidence, like in the male energy, is you're not flaunting it. There's not a flaunt to it. It's not the bravado. It's not like ooga booga, look at me. That's the sort of cocky, arrogant side where it's like, I know I can kick her. Like if you're spouting it out, you're always putting it out there like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. That's usually cocky. Not saying that you're not. I mean, there are some people who can say that, like Muhammad Ali, man. Oh, dude, bad mofo.
Right.
But
if you can back, it's like Kid Rock says, I can back it up, because he has cocky, and I love Kid Rock, but he's true. Like if you could back it up with record sales, you could back it up because you're winning everything. I mean, it's the truth, right? But I think a lot of people might not like that. So how can we be an example, but at the same time love ourselves enough and step into that full power?
For me, as a martial artist, it's use it when you need it. It's not always needing to be said like I'm the baddest out there. It doesn't need to be. Because if you're confident in yourself and you have it and you know it, there's no need to show it off. One thing that we actually teach in our school, in the school that I teach at, is hide the knowledge, show the knowledge. So you hide what you know until you need to show it, right? It doesn't need to be out all the time. And it's mellow. You can tell when somebody's confident in themselves because they're at ease, they're relaxed, they're breathing, they're having fun, they're laughing. The person who's tense all the time might be the one who's not as confident and can boast. Like, I'm not saying everybody is, but that's kind of what we do to kind of compensate for it.
So that brings me to my next question, because this is good stuff. I mean, I'm learning a lot right now, actually, to be honest with you. So let's talk about anxiety. So a lot of times people have anxiety, and that leads to mental illness because you're always on the edge and you're always stressed out. So when someone's really anxious, so what are you saying? They're lacking confidence? Because I like what you said. You said confident people are breathing. They're at ease. They're not at dis-ease. They're at ease. And that's a huge lesson. So how can somebody go from dis-ease, where they're just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't have the money. How am I going to afford that? I can't do that. To like, even if they're in a bad situation, like, I got this. I got this. So tell me about that, because I'm really interested to know that. That's something I strive for every day.
That's an awesome question. My girlfriend and I, we were actually at the gym the other day, and we were doing squats, and she asked me to help her out to do squats because she wants to get stronger and stuff. But she is confident in her own way. In her own way, she is confident. Like, I could see it. I could see her body. She knew what she was doing. She was confident. She was calm, but it was her mind that was racing. So for anxiety, a lot of times, I actually heard this really cool quote. Anxiety is your mind telling you conspiracy theories about yourself.
Nice.
I love that. Like, I thought that was so cool. Yeah.
Somebody put that in the quotes here. Say that again. I'm writing that down.
Anxiety is your mind playing conspiracy theories about yourself, telling you conspiracy theories about yourself.
Is your mind telling conspiracy theories about yourself? Yeah.
And it's that monkey mind. It's that like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. Oh, this person's looking at me. Oh, they're laughing at me, when somebody could just be having a random conversation.
Making up stuff in their head. Yeah, making up stuff in their head. Like, like you said. I think a lot of teenagers go through that too in the bullying world. Like they just think everyone's like making fun of them, or they're laughing, they must be laughing at me. I went through that myself, and always like, oh my God, is everyone like? But when you get older, it's like nobody really cares about anyone other than themselves. So it's like they're not even thinking about you the whole time at all.
One thing that's always helped me that I've always been able to come back to is I can literally feel a core area just about here, kind of in this heart space, that I can come back to. So if I'm getting too up here and I'm like, this is all these thoughts, it's like, come here, because this is always calm. It's kind of that calm within the storm. Because this, like, you'll notice, this is why for me, meditation and mindfulness is so key. A lot of times when we're getting in our head, our breathing is, it's up here instead of here. So what always helped me was connecting the two. If this starts going crazy, come back to this to calm the mind. So I'd come back to the heart to calm the mind. And it's still scary. Like, it's like, I still struggle with it sometimes. It's like, not everybody's looking at you. Nobody cares. Like, it's okay. But that's also conditioning from when you're a kid. Like you said, you know, it's conditioning because, like, the world's scary. The world's strange. People are rude. People are this, people are that. And you're just like this teenager who has no idea what's going on if you don't have, you know, proper role models and guidance and stuff.
Right.
It's allowing yourself to be home in yourself. If you can be home within your own heart, within your own soul, within your own thoughts, you know, because we're like, we're so fearful of being judged of how we are.
Absolutely. Like, so I mean, obviously, you know, I coached for so many years, and I mean, people are afraid to death of doing an interview. Like right now, obviously you're chill and you're relaxed, but even the first time you were nervous. And I know we have some clients watching this and they're like scared to death. They're like, oh my God, like I got to interview people. But you know, in the martial arts world, what do you teach young children when they're, cause you know, when we're talking about fighting, like in my book, battle is a word that it's not my favorite word, but it is true. Like we are in the battle of our life every day. So it involves fighting both on the you know, the physical, but also on the mental, right? So how can somebody step into that full power of, I can attack, but I can be also super kind and super loving, but still have both energies instead of, I always got to be on the attack, or I'm just going to be weak and a wimp and just hug everyone and I'm not going to be able to defend myself. So how does that strength, where can we get, is that through just constant physical and mental, like just that doing it day to day, every day, and that's how you develop that confidence? What have you seen even with the kids that you're mentoring?
It's the training. For me, it was definitely like, I don't think I've ever stopped training my entire life. Like, it's consistent. I'm constantly training, constantly pushing myself mentally, physically. Like, I will push myself to my absolute limit. And that's what's helped me, because I was a very fearful kid. I was highly sensitive as an empath. I mean, you touched a plant wrong and I would cry. I was so sensitive. And I got picked on. Like, I was bullied my entire life. Like, I was bullied up until about 23 when I was 225 and I was huge. Nobody would mess with me anymore.
Right.
But it wasn't fun because I was just mad all the time. I was defensive. I was like, don't touch me. I'll, you know, hurt you. With the kids, it's love. Like, like for me with the kiddos, it's like, I just want to show them love in the world, because they might be being bullied. The parents might be yelling at them. Their home life might not be good, because we have kids who come from struggled homes. We got kids who come from drug addict parents. Like, it's crazy stuff. And it's like, I just want you to know that I absolutely love you in every single moment of your life. And I will always, because I'm a lover. That's just who I am. But with the discipline, for me, like, it was the physical part. It was the training daily, in and out every single day, to build that strength. And then once I got to a certain point, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm strong. I don't need to really like worry about anything anymore. So now I can focus on being kind. Now I have the physicality for myself if ever need be. But now that I have it, I have the kindness. Now I can have the time to focus on being compassionate and caring.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I have a couple more questions, and this is amazing. I really appreciate it. So guys, if you're getting anything out of this, you know, get an exclamation point, you know, some kind of emoji, whatever you want to post, both in the replay and the live. Thank you so much for watching the You vs. You show. So I got an adult question for you. Okay. So I want to kind of paint the picture, and then I want to talk about Inside Out Institute in a second, and just your transition into transforming your own life. And now you're giving back. So my wife is an empath, and about an hour ago, she came to me, actually about an hour and a half ago, she came to me and she said, how do I unlook at something that I've seen? And I said, well, what happened? What did you see? And she said, I was scrolling in Facebook, and it's hard to even say this because it's so sad, but she said she saw rioters going to kennels and taking puppies and killing them on purpose. So with what we see going on, whether it's killing of cops, killing of dogs, animals, the cutest thing, the most innocent animal on this planet, and seeing this with our own eyes, where 99.9% of people are good human beings. There's always that 1% that really we think like the world's like that. And then now, because we see that on social media and we see these riots, you know, we want to be strong within ourselves. We want to breathe. We want to be like water. But there's also this anger and this resentment and this fear, this anxiety. So what, you know, I don't even want philosophy on this. I just want what would Jed do? Like, what would kind of Mike do? What would Jed do if this was, if you saw that today? Or what do you do now when you see the riots and stuff, knowing what you know, the training that you've been through? How are you handling all of this yourself?
It's such a hard question because as you know, like same as your wife, like I'm a deep empath. I mean, like if I hear, like immediately as soon as you told that, like it pissed me off. Like right. Because, and I have to be careful because of my past and my training. Yeah. There have been moments in time where like I've seen that kind of stuff, and it's like I want to just start going in there and just start wailing on people. It's like
well, tell me about the emotion code because Cheryl just said it, and that's kind of where I'm leading to because I got. You know, what happened last week and why you've got Overcomer of the Week. Part of that was just how you're shifting emotionally. So talk to me a little bit about Emmanuel Zavios. Talk to me about his work with you on the emotion code and body code. Because I don't want to interrupt you, but I know because that's really what I want to hear, all of the results that you got.
Yeah, no, that's totally okay. Because I was going to kind of lead into that. Like what I do now when I see that kind of stuff is I have to accept it. It happened. I couldn't do anything about it, so I have to go forward. I can't just keep looking at it and hate them because then that just turns me into them. So I have to keep going forward. So with that, I focus on my healing. Like I have to heal myself so I can be better for other people. So maybe I can give back to them. With Emmanuel, like it's helped incredibly, like so immensely in ways that I wasn't expecting. This crap's coming up that I wasn't even aware of. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know that. And now I am more relaxed. Like I see the world differently. Like my perception of the reality is completely shifted now. I don't have the dark filter and the dark clouds over my eyes that I had before because these things were just taken off. They were taken away. And with that, like with the whole social media thing, it's like let that crap just flow off of you. Like get the gold out.
So the heart walls. Talk to me about how your heart walls are starting to be removed and what that really looks like now, and how you can really breathe a lot better, so to speak.
It's amazing. When that happened, I was on cloud 9 that day. Like I was just so like happy and pumped because I felt that love for life again that I had when I was like a kid. Like I felt it again. But now like. It is a little weird just because, like, you know, we build the heart wall to protect ourselves, right? It's a shield that we're trying to do. But by doing that, we can't give our gifts. We can't give our own light. And so when we can uncover it and if we can relax into it and build our strength and build our shields to project it, then we can put out our hearts rather than shielding them and keeping them in. We can radiate them out to affect other people. It's kind of like this ripple effect where you can finally shine your light.
That's so true, man. I mean, what you're saying and what we're doing is so important. And, you know, we look at the world and we look at all the heart walls, we look at all the rioters and and I was in the middle of a riot myself on Saturday. Very scary stuff. I mean, you're like ready to defend, you know, especially as a man, you're like, I'm ready to like, you know, don't come near me, or else kind of thing. Like you would be, you know, defending your wife. Tell me about, you know, your passion now, because what you said is so powerful. I don't know if people caught it. You know, we do these interviews a lot, and you know, I know people are so distracted with everything, and they might scroll. Oh, this is nice, Todd and Jed. Okay, they'll watch it for like 2 minutes. But what you just said was the most unbelievable thing that you could possibly say. You said, "I got my passion for life back." As I was a little kid. Because if you look at a little boy, if you look at Jed, the little boy, when you were 10 or even 8 or whatever, even if you had a horrible household, that little boy Jed is still happy. It's just, you know how kids are just always like, I mean, they might be mad because they can't use the iPad. But other than that, I mean, let's go play some baseball. Let's go wrestle. Let's go have fun. So what you said is so powerful. So tell me, how did you get that back again? How did you get the passion to be a little boy again for life? How do we get that passion back?
For me personally, it's meditation. Meditation helps so
Mm-hmm.
much. It's always within us. It's always been there. It's never left. We've just been shrouded and hidden from all the crap that we've been through our entire life.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's healing. It really is. It's meditation. It's the emotion code sessions. Like seriously, like
Mm-hmm.
it'll find things that you didn't even know were in there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can get so deep with meditation, but there's still little bugs in the back of my mind that I can't quite get to. With the emotion code, like it'll pluck those little ticks out and it'll finally release that and it'll come back because you're getting rid of all the crap that covered you. And so who you were then is just coming out now. It's who you've always been. It's just been it's been cluttered and crowded and shadowed. And now once you can heal yourself and get that crap off of you, it's just going to be you again. And you're going to remember those feelings again. Like I remember like how much I love to be outside. I remember how much I love, certain things, like things that I haven't thought about in a while. It's like, oh my God, I'm crying again because I can feel again.
Yeah. And that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
Me excited.
Yeah, it's emotion code, body code, and it's something that we're both passionate about. So if anyone's been watching like my Facebook or Jed's Facebook or Instagram in the past couple of months, I mean, you'll see what's called the Inside Out Institute. And what we're launching next month is unprecedented. It's part my idea and part my partner's idea, Manuel, and a lot of our staff and a lot of you're about to transition into a leadership transformational coach. We have practitioners that are going to work with people. We have leadership coaches, because even if somebody's healed of their emotional baggage, they still have to pay the rent. They still have to make money. They still have to go after their dreams. But what you also said a few minutes ago which is genius, is you said, what did you say? Okay, so basically once your emotions, like once you get rid of emotional baggage, if you have emotional baggage, you can't do anything. You can't focus on your goals and dreams and all that stuff. But once you get rid of it, then you can. Everything opens up. So if you have your passion for life again, then you're like, all right, well, what can I do? What can I fill?
Yeah.
So on both sides of it, the yin and the yang, you are going to be on the leadership side. So talk to me about your vision for Inside Out Institute, your excitement behind it, and really how you've even seen it like develop and where it's going, and you just being in the kind of you are a founding member of the Inside Out Institute.
To me, like it's a blast, because these are actually dreams that I've had since I was a kid. Like I've kind of had my own idea of this. It's like, how can we make a huge shift worldwide of healing people and inspiring that love again? So for me, it's like every time that we get on a call, like I'm trying so hard not to just like I want to scream sometimes because I get so stoked. But it's grown and it's completely unique. I haven't really experienced anything else like you. I've done network marketing. I was in Legal Shield for a little bit. Like I've played those kind of games, but this is something completely unique, and it grows differently every single day. It's not one set thing. It's this growing organism that like gets me stoked, because like we have so many different types of leaders, so many different types of healers. It's not this like one static, XYZ company. It's this organic organism basically that's growing, and it's reaching out and it's spreading. Like even like I've noticed with myself, just like with my healing, the more that I'm healing and the more that I'm growing, more people are seeing it, and then they start to grow in their own little ways. And like, wait a second, something's happening over here. It's this ripple effect, and it's so cool. And every single person that I've met and through Inside Out has been so kind and so just compassionate and caring, even if they're a little weary at first, they're a little unsure, because it's strange meeting new people, but there's so much support, there's so much growth, and everybody is so like, yes, you got this, do this. Like everybody's on each other's sides, like, and it's so great. Like to me, it feels like freedom. Like I was so stoked to get on this interview, because it's like, like we're doing this, like it's happening, like things are going, things are growing, and it's gonna be amazing. Like I get stoked. I'm a stoked person.
You look at like I love Apple, and I always strive to be a visionary, and I love Steve Jobs, and a lot of people say he was a jerk, whatever, but I mean he was amazing, and but at the end of the day though, it's just a computer. Nike, amazing multi-billion-dollar company. At the end of the day though, it's just a sneaker. Inside Out, it's not just a life change. You can't just say, okay, what they do over there is they just change your life. But Nike, oh my gosh, you can get a running shoe at Nike, or you can get a nice phone. I mean, there's other phones out there. This necessarily won't change your life, transform your marriage. This won't transform, depression, getting out of maybe a mental funk, right? This is just a device. What Inside Out is, the vision of where we're going is we're literally transforming people from the inside out, but we have to start with the emotional side first. We can't just be like, all right, what's your goal? We're going to coach. We're going to be your life coach. All right, well, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is how we have certified practitioners guiding everyone through what they really need to know about themselves. They're discovering, and then we can help guide them and lead them so that eventually they can lead themselves to win the ultimate battle, and that's the you versus you battle. But it's right, the brain is the ultimate thing that we need to win. So Jed, I really appreciate you being here. I know in about 30 minutes, we're going to feature you on our private call as the Inside Out Overcomer of the Week. Two last things. Where do people follow you on Instagram? And because they can obviously follow you here, and then one word of wisdom to leave this interview.
Oh man. Well, if anybody wants to follow me, my Instagram, it's weird. It's BoneyBackRivers92, capital Boney, like BONEY back Rivers, all one word, 92. Obviously on Facebook, Jed Hammond. I think it's just Jed Hammond on Facebook. Yep. Wow. One last thing of wisdom. Care for yourself. Really, we forget to care for ourselves, and we forget to love ourselves. Like Todd said, it's the inward battle. Like none of the outside stuff is going to change unless this changes, and that's on like a worldwide scale. That's micro and macro. Heal the internal, and the rest will just ripple. Like we forget that we put on the makeup, we put on the clothes, we put on the shoes, thinking that'll make us better. You might still feel like shit the next day.
100%. Yeah.
Heal this. All that will be taken care of.
Exactly. I mean, we all know multimillionaires who have it, beautiful families, and they're still depressed. They need the emotional side. And then we also know people that need the action steps once they're also healed emotionally too. So it's the yin and the yang. So I love all these comments. We have Emmanuel Zaviles tuning in, and I know we talked about him and all the amazing work that he did on you. Yep. Co-founder of Inside Out Institute. So hey, Emmanuel. We have awesome people. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thanks so much for all the love and appreciation for Jed. Jed's a stud. I've seen that a lot. So Jed, congratulations, man. I'm stepping out of your comfort zone. It's crazy. I met you through Facebook last year, and what a great inbox that became. Just think about that. Inbox you. What a great inbox that was. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for showing up always 100%. Thanks for not missing anything. Thanks for never making excuses. Thanks for being you, and the world is better because you're living and you're breathing and you're here, adding so much value. So thank you so much.
Appreciate you all. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll be on tomorrow for the last show of the week on Thursday with another guest speaker. So tune in every single day to You vs. You show, and then we also post it on Instagram after. So thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you.
Bye, guys.